So this is from the Bleacher Report. Browns' top trade candidates ahead of training camp. And it's kind of interesting. So they say Greedy Williams. Let's run through all three of them. Greedy Williams, running back Kareem Hunt, and quarterback Baker Mayfield. Well, Baker Mayfield nobody's going to argue with as soon as they can find a suitable partner that matches up with the salary. Baker Mayfield will likely be gone. I'd be surprised if they traded Greedy Williams. I know he may play himself out of their ability to sign him to a contract after this year, but they like having a lot of cornerbacks, do the Browns.
Yeah, absolutely. And, and he actually pleasantly surprised me last year because coming off, that's a pretty serious issue when you have a nerve issue in your shoulder. And I thought he played pretty well and he was able to step in. And I think the reason some of these guys are listed is because it's the last year of their contract, but they traded Troy Hill during the draft. And I think that would have been the time if you were going to move on from him. I don't see them trading him. I don't know the value because he's still got some questions coming off that injury. He's not been durable. But like you said, cornerbacks are very, important to the Browns. They did have their top 5 returning until they traded Troy Hill, but they still had 4 of the 5 returning. And you could say their top pick, Martin Emerson, they would assume that he would be in the top 5. So they feel like they're pretty good in that position. So I would not see them trading Greedy Williams. I think I will say this before I talk about the other guys. I still think this has to do with Deshaun Watson, with Kareem Hunt or Dearness Johnson, or even, some of the other guys mentioned, is because what if they really are sight on the Super Bowl, I don't think you're going to trade a Kareem Hunt or a Dearness Johnson even, or a Greedy Williams. Why would you weaken yourself? You go for it. But if you get a Deshaun Watson out for the year or more than half the season, they might say, well, we really don't feel like we can go all in this year, and let's try to get some more assets for the future. Kareem Hunt, obviously $6 million, wants to stay here. Dearness Johnson showed last year he's pretty viable. Right now, they would have $14 million committed to the running back if they keep those top 3. So that's why most people assume one of those would be traded. But I cannot see him trade Kareem Hunt if Watson's playing from early in the season. The other, questions, I think I'll come back to that. Who's healthy and who's not? Why would you do that going in before the season? Baker Mayfield, I even think there's an outside chance that they're holding out to see what happens with Watson because, again, I've said this and I've heard more and more people talk about it. If they lose Watson for the year, I don't know what's a better alternative. I will tell you personally that Baker Mayfield's a better quarterback than Jacoby Brissett. They might not think that, but I think it is. And the guy's getting $19 million. And if I was told I had 1 year left on my job, go do the best you can, you're going to be gone in a year for sure. I would try to put out my best, performance so I could get a job elsewhere. If I said, I don't want the job because you're getting rid of me next year, I don't think that would help me. I don't think that'd help anybody. So I don't know what they think. But it really doesn't matter what Baker thinks, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's under contract for a year. So I agree. And it would be in his best interest to come back and play if Watson's out for an entire year.
Oh, yeah, by the way, Dave, we'll give you $19 million if you show up for that year.
Yeah.
I think you'd come. I would.
Yeah, I'd come and I'd have a smile on my face.